Hi guys, it's Mrs. Kelley and my friend Rowlf the dog.
Hello everybody!
We're gonna read the next 2 chapters of our Magic Treehouse book. But first, Rowlf, I noticed you look really nice today. I love your tie.
I'm dressed for success.
You definitely are. I noticed this yellow feather. What's that about?
That's my good friend Big Bird.
Oh, Big Bird. I miss Big Bird so much.
Oh yeah.
Just like I miss my students. So we're gonna read our next 2 chapters of Magic Treehouse, book number 19, Tigers at Twilight. And yesterday I forgot to mention the author, Mary Pope Osborne. She writes so many great books. These Magic Treehouse books just take you on adventures. That's the power of reading, is it can take you places. So here we go. When we ended yesterday, Jack and Annie were in a tree in India. They were trying to find their 3rd special gift from their letter from Morgan Le Fay. So at the end of chapter 4, Annie said that she had an idea. They were trapped in the tree. They didn't know how to get out to get away from the tigers. There were some elephants around. So Annie said, I've got a really cool idea. At school, I would ask my students, what's their prediction? What do you think Annie's idea is? Rowlf, do you have any predictions?
Maybe they go on a long hike somewhere.
Well, maybe. We'll see. So here we go. So Annie ends with, I have a really cool idea. Chapter 5 called Night Walk. Uh-oh, said Jack. What is it? I know how to escape the tiger, said Annie. Our book said tigers don't attack elephants, right? Yeah, said Jack. So we should travel through the forest on the back of an elephant, said Annie. Jack nodded slowly. That is a cool idea, he said. But no buts. I'll get on first, said Annie. She climbed down the tree until she was close to the elephant's back. She carefully lowered herself off a branch. When her feet rested on the elephant's back, she let go of the branch, and then she slowly sat down. The elephant let out a low rumbling sound and shifted her weight. Don't worry, it's just me, said Annie. She patted the huge creature's back. Thanks, Saba. Saba, said Jack. That's her name, said Annie. She just told me. Yeah, right, said Jack. Arf, arf, barked Teddy.
Arf, arf.
Come on, Jack, said Annie. It's not scary. Jack sighed and slowly climbed down the tree. When he was above Saba, he lowered himself off the branch. He put both feet on the elephant. Then he carefully sat down in front of Annie. Saba rumbled again. Tell her not to worry, said Annie. Pat her head. Don't worry, said Saba. Here's the picture. Don't worry, Saba, said Jack, and he patted the elephant's head. Her skin was rough and wrinkled. The elephant curled her trunk back and rested it on Jack's head. Hi, he said in a small voice. Saba flapped her ears. Ka and Ko swung to the ground in front of Saba. They chatted at her. She waved her trunk at them. The langurs began bounding through the forest. Saba followed. The rest of the herd followed in line. Saba walked with a calm, rolling motion. Jack felt as if he were riding over ocean waves. Where are we going? He said. Just relax, said Annie. Ka and Ko know where to go. Arf, arf, Teddy barked.
Arf, arf.
From Jack's backpack. You relax too, Jack said to the little dog. Fireflies blinked. The moon lit a path between the trees and the elephants marched on. From a distance came a low growl. Is that the tiger? Jack wondered. The elephants paid no attention. They just kept walking through the warm woods. They marched slowly under hanging vines and through misty clearings. Ka and Ko bounded ahead of them, 2 moon shadows leading the way. We're going far from the treehouse, said Jack. Don't worry, said Annie. Suddenly a large roar split the night. A chill went down Jack's spine. The roar came again. It turned into a yowling. The yowling turned into steady moaning. It sounded as if the whole forest were moaning. That's really a sad sound, said Annie sleepily. Yeah, said Jack. But the elephants marched on. Jack rocked in sleepy rhythm with Saba's walk. He could hear Teddy snoring in his backpack. Soon, Jack's head rested on Saba's back. He began drifting in and out of dreams of rocking in a boat under the dark treetops. That's the end of chapter 5. You know one thing I really liked about that? Even though there was some danger around them, the elephants marched on. Kind of like what we have to do in life. No matter what's happening around us, we have to march on. We have and be our best selves. All right, ready for chapter 6?
I'm ready.
All right, chapter 6 is called Swamp Creature.
Whoa.
Caw, caw, awk, awk, awk. Jack slowly came out of his dream. He opened his eyes with a start. He was surrounded by hazy sunlight. Where am I? He thought in a panic. And then he remembered. He was in India, on an elephant's back. He sat up. Through the haze, he saw that Saba was standing on a muddy stream bank. Jack yawned. Where was Annie? The other elephants were upstream. They sprayed water on each other with their trunks. Teddy, Ka, and Ko were at the edge of the forest. Teddy sniffed the tall grass. The langurs ate flowers. Good morning, Annie called. She was sitting on a big black rock downstream. She was barefoot and soaking wet. Hi, said Jack. How did you get down? Teddy and I slid off Saba into the mud, said Annie. Try it, but throw down your sneakers and backpack first. Annie went to Saba's side. Her feet were buried in mud up to her ankles. Jack threw his things to Annie, and then he patted Saba's rough, wrinkled skin. Thanks for the ride, he said softly. The elephant touched him one last time with her trunk. Jack slid down her side, feet first, and fell into the mud. He caught himself with his hands. They sank into the mud past his wrists. His glasses were spattered too. Wash off in the stream, said Annie. She put Jack's pack and shoes on the rock while Jack waded into the cool water. He washed the mud off his hands and feet. He rinsed off his glasses, and then he looked around. Saba joined the rest of the herd. The elephants looked beautiful in the morning mist. Everything looked beautiful. Yellow and blue water birds spread their wings. Mossy hanging vines swayed in the breeze. Huge white flowers floated on top of the stream. Close your eyes, picture it. This is called visualizing. Okay. Then Jack saw a strange sight. It looked like a horn and 2 ears sticking out of the water. One ear flicked away a fly. There's a weird creature out here, he called to Annie. It looks like it has a horn. Annie waded into the stream. I better check the book, said Jack. He hurried to his pack, wiping his wet hands on his t-shirt. He pulled out the India book. There was a picture of a horn sticking out of the water. He read, the one-horned rhinoceros, or rhino, washes in a forest stream. Rhinos are not usually dangerous, but because they do not see well, they sometimes charge at things by mistake. A loud noise will usually stop them. Jack felt sorry for the rhinos. Too bad animals can't wear glasses, he thought. He read more. The Indian rhino is a very endangered animal. This means that there are not many left. People called poachers kill them and sell their body parts as medicine and good luck charms. Well, hello, Ralph. Where'd you get those glasses?
I had them around.
All right, so animals can wear glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Jack started to take out his notebook. Just then, a slurpy sloshing sound came from the water. Whoa, said Annie. Jack looked up. The rhino rose up from the stream. He looked like an ancient swamp creature. Oh, man, said Jack. The rhino peered at Annie with his tiny gray eyes. Then he snorted and lowered his head. His horn pointed right at Annie. Make a loud noise, Jack yelled. Annie clapped her hands and shouted, We come in peace. The rhino stopped. He grunted, and then he sank back into the water. And there's a picture. Whew, said Jack. I better take some notes about that big guy. Arf, arf.
Arf, arf.
Teddy barked from the edge of the forest. And I better get Teddy, said Annie. She hurried out of the stream and ran to get the dog. Jack pulled out his notebook and wrote, One-horned rhino. An endangered animal. Needs glasses. Jack, shouted Annie. She was racing toward him with Teddy at her heels. Come quick. What's wrong, he said. We found something terrible. Annie was close to tears. Really terrible. And that's the end of the chapter. So often I ask kids to make a prediction. What do you think's going to happen next? What do you think is so terrible? Maybe you could make a prediction and share with someone at home. Do you have any ideas? What could be so terrible?
They might run out of food.
Oh, they might. All right, well, we'll tune in tomorrow to see. This is all for today, loves. I miss you very much. Hope to see you very, very soon. But tune in tomorrow for chapter 7 called Trapped, and then chapter 8. All right, we'll see you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.